Everybody know it is an open meeting to members of the association, and by state statute, you are able to record the meeting. Either party can do that. The HOA does not record the meeting and make it available, so you're able to record. So let's let you know that. All right, page 2, we're on our minutes. Board, there's the minutes from the last meeting, also in your packet that was emailed to you. If you'd like to review those and make any changes as necessary, and then we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 24th.
Okay, that was Art made the motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I second.
Do we have any board discussion? Do we have any homeowner discussion? During motions, everybody, homeowners, we'll always have board discussion, then we'll ask for homeowner discussion. If you would like to make a comment about that motion and that motion only, please raise your hand. I'll see that and I'll recognize you. So we're asking for any homeowner discussion. Okay, we do not have any. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That being unanimous, it passes. Thank you very much. The next is the manager report. And this is just a summary of items that were either conducted or done by your management company or myself during the period between last meeting and this meeting. So we obtained quotes for the fence and wall repair for parcel 6. That's the gated area. We have a wall or a view fence issue there. And then the basketball park, that is the South Park, the view fencing and repairing of that area. We have proposals for you tonight. I contacted the town of Gilbert regarding the equestrian trail on the north, and we have some suggestions on the agenda for tonight, and also discussed with 3 different departments of the town the Knox traffic issue or speeding issue is really it is. And we have some discussions that we'll have on the agenda tonight for that also. We researched alternatives to the sand and the playground bases. I do have a chart about that. We'll discuss that. It's on the agenda. And then also we obtained a wall inspection proposal from Kessler Engineering, and that's also on the agenda and in the packet. We have a proposal for monument signs from Tenant Landscaping. We received normal architecture requests. The inspection compliance is ongoing. We did open the ICS accounts per the board vote of last meeting, and you'll see that probably maybe next financials or the next. It depends on when we make the break. We may wait till May 1st to do all the transfers to have a clean break of a month. We uploaded the minutes to the website, so approved minutes from this point forward to be on the website for view per board per the board wanting to do it. And we contacted Dunn Edwards, and we have a representative that's assigned to our account, and they will like to be at the next board meeting to discuss that process of color palettes and going through that. So that's the highlights of what we did so far. No motion necessary, just informational for everybody. The financial report is on page 4. Treasurer, would you like me to go through that briefly?
Yes, please. Please review that for the members.
Very good. All right, our balance sheet is on the screen. This is as of 3/31/21. In our checking account, we had $93,482. In our reserves, which we have in money markets and a CD, $823,725. We have receivables in assessments of $14,041. And then we have other receivables, which include late fees, legal fees, reserve funds, fines, and others. Accounts payable, that's invoices received that have not been processed, and prepaid assessments, exactly what that sounds like, prepaid assessments. On the P&L, this is the first quarter, so the year to date is what I like to highlight, and we'll look at the differences, both positive and negative, from budget for the first 3 months. We're slightly above budget, $3,653 on income, and that's income that you derive from various methods. The bulk of the up income was on a old collection that was not on the books as a receivable, so it shows as a other extra income. So that's a real nice plus for the HOA. It's money that you lost a long time ago and finally got paid. So that's a good thing. A little high in the playground, in the common. You can see that was, some wall stuff at $700. Hit that. In the community, we're a little above budget there, and that's in the legal fees are above budget significantly by a little over $4,000. Vehicle access gates were under budget in that. We did have some vehicle access gate issues. Actually, it didn't make my manager report, but if you live in parcel 6 and have the gate, we lost the database in the gate. We were able to retrieve partial and then get everybody communicated and going out there to do that. So it's working fine now. That bill won't be seen until next month. Insurance, we're a little over budget insurance, but that's what the insurance was. This was budgeted before the renewal, and it's a partial timing issue. In landscaping, we're under budget significantly, but that's fairly obvious because we haven't done any tree shrub install. We haven't done any tree pruning yet, and our landscape other budget, is still available. So it's more timing issues. Our irrigation repairs, at least on year to date, are under budget, but on a monthly basis, you can see we're tracking. So a little under in landscaping, but we'll probably catch up when we have some more projects and do the tree trimming. A little over budget in, that's operations. And you can see that's in clerical. Clerical is our mass mailings that we send out for the meetings because we leave the budget flat for the year. We had a big part at the beginning of the year. So we'll catch up on the budget on that. So nothing really troubling there on the budget side. Miscellaneous, we're slightly above in miscellaneous, but there is a component in income to this one. It has to do with escrows and closes. So there's income that offsets that one. We haven't spent any in this miscellaneous, so they're 150 under budget. On the repair and maintenance, we're significantly under budget in miscellaneous repair. That's good. Not much is broken. So we're, as you see, $4,000 under budget there. We're right on budget, and I'd like to highlight that the community has put $36,360 away into reserves in the last 3 months. We put $12,120 a month, and that's an actual transfer from checking to the reserve money market account, but it shows as an expense line in the operational P&L. And then utilities were slightly under in the electric utility. Honestly, I have no idea why, because our electric is pretty steady. Most of our electric has to do with irrigation controllers, and that's the connection fee. So we're a little under budget there. We're right on budget for water. Obviously, your water is flat. So in total, we're $12,264 under budget in expense, and we're $15,917 over budget, which is good in net. So our net's not really a net profit, but a net contribution. We're doing well. So no big surprises, and so far for the first quarter, we're doing okay. Board, do you have any questions about the financials?
No, okay. Do not.
Very good. Does any homeowner have any questions about the financials? I'd be glad to answer those for you. If you could raise your hand, I'll ask you to unmute and you may ask your question. I'm looking at the chat window too, by the way. If you want to say something in chat, you can do that, although I don't get my attention as quickly as the raising. Okay, I don't see any. Board, I'll point out that your backup materials here, this is your checking account bank statement, the reconciliation, the check register, the money market, this is the check statement for parcel 6. They have their own reconciliation, money market for parcel 6, reconciliation, and the money market for the entire community, and the reconciliation. So all that is in your board packet. Okay, if there's no questions, which I don't see any, I will entertain a motion to approve the financial report as presented, please.
pass a motion to approve the financial report as presented.
Thank you, Todd. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any board discussion? Any homeowner discussion on the motion? Okay, I don't see any hands up. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, we'll go into the first item of new business and old business. That's the proposal for the monument sign landscaping. And I did invite the owner of the landscape company, Tenant Land Management, and I'm seeing if he's in our list here. There's Jeff. I think it's that Jeff. Maybe it's not that Jeff. It's not that Jeff. Okay. He must not, I told him 6:20, so we got through a little early. Okay, we'll come back to him when he joins. Kevin, you wanted to do a little go-kart park update, please.
Yes, at our last meeting, we had, during the homeowner forum, Randy Nelson talk about the go-kart track that was going to be going in on the southwest corner of Knox and Greenfield or Santan Village Parkway. He has made progress in that, and he has a prepared statement that he will be reading during the homeowner forum. And if you're interested in getting involved, get out a pencil and piece of paper, because he will be including contact information, how anyone can join the group, and also how to contribute financially to defray the cost of the appeal and any potential attorney fees. The only thing I will say is that at the meeting, it was basically just the city meeting was just to approve the design. The lease had already been approved a long time ago, and so the group was able to successfully file an appeal to the design. But that's all I'm going to mention now, other than the fact that a couple of board members were somewhat involved, but we only represented ourselves as homeowners. We never represented Greenfield Lakes, nor did we represent the homeowner association. But hang in there for more detail from Randy later on.
All right, thank you. I do see it. Jeff Burt did join us. I'm going to ask him to unmute.
There you go. Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go, Jeff. I can. All right, Jeff, you have the floor, and I'm putting your proposal on the screen. So if you want to discuss that with the board, please go ahead.
Okay. You want me to give you a quick little update too as well on a couple
Sure.
of things?
That'd be great.
The West Horse Trail. Well, first of all, hi guys. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. The horse trails, for the most part, are pretty much done. We'll be back there tomorrow to finish up the rest of the trees back on that north section of the horse trails. But we are, for the most part, pretty much done back there. I haven't spoke to you, but I guess over the weekend, I don't know, some of them riding motorcycles or doing dirt track racing, or I don't know, something back there. They're doing some stuff, some kids, I think. So just a little update. I'll take some pictures and get it over to you so you can see it. Okay. So I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Also, when they're doing their trees, we're going to take out a couple of the trees out in front. I noticed today when we were doing our drive around on that entrance to the golf course, there's that dead tree sitting there. So I'll be taking that one out. And I think there's one other I was noticing I'll have the guys take out as well. So that'll all be finished up tomorrow. All right. And also lastly, in regards to the watering, I hope everyone's noticed, we have since been able to eliminate all the pooling water. That's been one of our objectives for the last, I don't know, 5 weeks, trying to really adjust all the controllers to get to where we're not pooling. Now I'm having to, the guys working on all day today is fine tuning. So I'm getting enough water on the grass without pooling water. So we already aware of there's a couple areas where I need more water on the grass. So we're working on that as well to move forward to make sure that I can try to keep it green and get our other work done with pertaining to the grass fertilization and aeration. That'll be happening here in the next week or so. All right. In regards to this proposal, this is for the, like we talked about last time at the last meeting, about putting flowers in. So here's this proposal that I submitted to you guys. There's a cost in here for concrete border for curbing. That's a one-time cost, obviously. It's on the next page. So that's a one-time cost. And what you're going to pay for a minimum of 200 feet. So the thought was that if you guys wanted us to do this, we liked it. What we would do is put the curbing on each of the monument signs. And where that would be is that front piece of the monument between the two on the right and the left is where you have those pots. We want to have like a 5-foot zone, basically from the monument sign itself out, and there's a 5-foot zone. So that's where that curbing would go and kind of block in those monument signs. And because it's a minimum to have the curbing be put in, we would, or and if it's not 200 feet, we can find some other place to put curbing on the property, but that would be a one-time fee if we did concrete curbing. If you would like me to do something different, we could, but the idea is this is permanent. It's nice. If we ever want to change it, we can pull it out. It's great, but it lasts. And it's a lot better than putting in other type wood materials or things like that. And it would make it look nice, I believe. So that was the thought. So that would be a one-time fee on that. Okay. So if you go back to the page, yeah, there you go. So the thought here is, if I can try to paint a picture here, is we would use the summer snaps, the snapdragons, basically in the monument area. You're gonna have 5 feet. So between those two raised, where you have 2 pots on one side and 2 pots on the other side. So basically where the monument sign is and below, like we talked about, that's where the flowers would go. I can do it. The valve you have, one valve operates the entire planter area. So it waters all those plants, it'll water the flowers and so forth, which, the cypress, they could use the extra water, not a problem. And so we could definitely make this work. I don't have to do anything special on the irrigation. But what we would do is take the snapdragons, summer snaps, that would be your height for the back. And if you recall, I was suggesting we take about 1 ton of dirt, bring it in, and from that curbing, we would go at an angle, all right? Sort of at maybe about a 10% angle. So the idea is that when you're driving by, you can see all the flowers, because as it is, it's kind of flat, if not going backwards on the one we're talking about, the South Monument. It kind of goes back actually. So you really wouldn't see. You can see them as they get older, but you really can't see it. So I'm thinking of the Disneyland look, guys. So when you look at it, you drive by, you automatically see the flowers. It looks beautiful. And if we do like a 10% incline by putting about 1 ton of dirt in that area, put in the irrigation that's already there, and then go ahead and put the snapdragons in the back. That'll be your height. That would be up against the wall, basically, under the monument sign, which we have plenty of room. It would look beautiful. And then in front of that, I would go ahead and put the vincas, the mixed trailing vincas. We can do something like that to where it would look really nice in that area. So you'd have the different colors that would kind of fill out that area. It would look kind of cool. And that would do really well in the summer. It likes full sun. And the two, you have 4 pots on each side. So 2 on each side, you get a total of 4 pots. What we could do is do the potato vines. Since everybody seems to really a lot of people do like the potato vines. They do really well in the heat. They like it. What we could do is then put those inside those pots and let them do the waterfall effect over the top of the pots. So we could do 1 pot with a lime green and another pot with they call them the black heart or the blackies. We could do that on the others, or I could mix whatever you guys would like to see. But that's sort of the idea. So those pots would be with the potato vines. You would have your flowers and the snapdragons in the back, and you'd have your vincas in the front. And it would actually add a lot of color to the property. It would give separation from the grass or the gravel areas, depending on which sign you go to. It would look nice. So I hope that kind of explains what I'm thinking there. And I would use micro sprays, by the way. I'm learning, I think we talked about it, maybe it was another HOA meeting, but micro sprays, I seem to do well with the micro sprays. When I use the drip irrigation or the soaker tubes, it gets clogged really easy. Don't like it. It just has a lot of problems. With the micro sprays, at least we know it's watering. It does well, covers the whole area. It looks nice. So that's my pitch on the thought there.
Board, any comments or questions for Jeff?
There's some in the chat.
Okay, we have in the chat, it says, question, the 2 pots on either side of the monument currently have Mexican palms and you will be replacing it with flowers. Thank God if so. Mexican palms don't look good here. Thanks. Okay, well, thank you very much. And then that sounds much better than what we have today. Yes, it is. Okay, thank you for the comments. Board, any other questions on it? Art, you waving your hand. You can just talk.
Yeah, hey, Jeff.
Yes.
I would suggest mixing the vincas because I have some at my house and sometimes they're not as hardy. So if you got 2 varieties, maybe you can keep them all green.
We can do that. Yeah. I mean, I'm open to the plants, whatever you guys want to put in there. I'm open to whatever would work well. So, and remember the way I do flowers, guys, I always sell it to the fact that I want it to look full and beautiful when I'm done planting. That's the idea. So you can always cut cost by reducing the amount of flats of flowers you put in there, waiting the time for them to fill in their spots. But I'm usually about a 2-inch on center kind of a guy when I put all my flowers in there. So because I like to make it look nice and full. So when you drive by, you're going to see all these flowers there. You won't see a lot of dirt. That's the idea. But if there's a cost issue, if that ever comes about, remember, we can always reduce it by the amount of material. And if you have another idea on flowers, it's something else you'd like to put in there, I'm open. My ears are open. So whatever you'd like me to put in there, we can definitely do. Because my concern here is this: I don't want to put something in that's going to struggle and have a hard time on that west facing wall. That's the problem you have right there at that corner. And we're going to be going there in another, 8 weeks or so. And we haven't had any rain yet. So they do say it's going to be a cooler summer, they say. So keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully that's the case. But I'm open. Whatever you'd like to, whatever your thoughts might be on that.
I have a question.
Yes.
During our last meeting, the subject came up of doing all the monuments, and we had requested you to just do one and we'll see how it goes. And I want a clarification. Is this proposal for all of them or just one of them?
That's going to be for one of them. See,
With
that's what I
the-
want. That's what I want to be careful of.
Okay, with the exception of the concrete curbing might be for all of them.
Yes. The concrete curbing would be for all of them, because obviously you got to pay a minimum. There's 200 linear feet you guys got to pay for anyways. So let's not waste that. Let's use that for if it's not there. If you guys had another suggestion or an idea, I mean, heck, I could even do some replacement concrete curbing that I see that is damaged over the years. It's right there on Ray Road, or I'm sorry, on
It's on Greenfield has some curbing.
Greenfield Road. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see it right there where you've got a big, huge stump that's grown and it's got broken curbing. I can fix that too, because we got 200 linear feet to use. I'll use it however, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the first foot's $700 and each foot after that's a penny. Okay, 790. It's
Yeah.
once they turn the machine on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So but you wouldn't have that cost after this. So each year, obviously, you can take off, even the dirt. You're going to put in, about 1 ton of soil in there to get the dirt up. But every year you be putting in new soil, new mulch. So the dirt's a one time, but the mulch. Remember, with flowers, every time I plant flowers, I'm always replacing the mulch. I'm adding more. I'm taking some out and putting new in. That's because it gets diseased, and you want to make sure you always have fresh soil for flowers. You always want to give it the right environment for it to thrive. You can't just keep planting it in the same soil.
Okay.
We have a chat comment that says, mix the potato vines for each pot.
Yep, we can do that too. Absolutely.
Okay, any other board questions, comments?
Like
Very
it.
Okay, all right, Jeff, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I think Todd was going to
go
say
ahead.
something.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Todd was going to say something.
Oh, I didn't know that. Todd, go on.
No, I just said I like it.
Todd likes it.
I like it too.
Okay, well, we're gonna ask Jeff to go so you can discuss it and vote on the proposal.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you, Jeff.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for Jeff to, okay, Jeff is not on the, okay, board, would you like to discuss that among yourselves or make a motion so you can discuss it more?
I make a motion, we discuss it.
Okay, well, how about you motion to approve and then you get discussion
Okay,
or not approve? All right.
hey, I'll approve it for discussion.
If you approve the discussion and then you vote on the discussion, you still didn't approve the proposal.
Can
No,
you
let's-
give a
let's-
Work
second,
with me,
please?
Kevin, work with me here.
Ron, you're kind of quiet. What, you usually have a lot of comments about vegetation. What are your
I think
thoughts?
the curbing we should do right away, because that's all for get it ready. I think that's a good idea. Can you go to the next page? So
There you go.
so each monument would be how much?
Well, the curbing is 790, the way I read this, and that's for both or more. So incrementally, the north monument sign would be, $800 less this amount, so 2,100. So all these plants are about $2,100, and the micro sprays and I guess the dirt and the amendments.
I love the idea. I just think is a lot of money from homeowners' pocket per each monument to spend 2,100.
Well, there's only two. There's only the
We
ones
can
that
only do two.
it's only the big ones. There's only the ones at Warner and Greenfield, not the
Right.
smaller ones.
So you're looking about 4,200 plus 790. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
About $5,000.
About 5,000.
40, yeah, because you're 5,100.
You know what? The best thing, we can try it for one season and see how it comes out. And then make a decision for winter time.
Well, this is also what you pointed out at the last meeting. Let's do one and let's see if it survives or how it looks. So you do one, you're not committed to the other one. If you don't like it, you can, change it up. But
Yep.
they don't look very good now.
Right. Plus, if you look at the those line items, there's a season. There's a spring and a summer, another spring and summer, as if this is going to take us through more than one season.
Yeah, he does this every 6 months. This is a 6-month deal.
Yeah.
So in 6 months, you replace it. He does this plan over at Gardens Gilbert at Recker and Ray. They have 2 big monument sign entrances, and this is the similar flowers and micro sprays that he's done. And he just replaced, I think he just replaced them last week. They did the turnover for the season.
Okay.
His prices are right on the money. And this is something that Art and I were talking about last year, of how creating a curb so the drivers can see it, but the price was, turf and tree was just too ridiculous. I don't know if you remember that, Art, was about
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
10
this
grand,
is
11 grand. So my
it's a
suggestion
lot
is
less
just,
than that other proposal.
my suggestion is just go ahead and do it, and we might just, it's going to be much better than what we have now. Let's just make the change, if the board is okay with that.
Would a board member like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve this proposal for the landscaping of the entry statement we have.
The southeast corner.
Okay, we'll do it on the southeast corner too.
That was the one that's the one it's for to try.
And
Okay, do
include the curbing for all corners.
I'll second Art's motion.
Okay, we have first second. Any more discussion from the board?
There's a chat question.
Okay, we have a chat question. Is the monument on the golf course side ours? If so, why are there golf course flags in front of it? Yes, that monument sign and that land is the HOA's. It's a very strange situation. They own that building and the lot that's behind it. In fact, if we'll tangent off for a second. Let me share my screen with the map. So if you can see this is the Maricopa County GIS map, and this is the corner you're speaking about. So here's our monument sign. Let it sync up there. And I'm going to click on that and I'll get rid of that sidebar. So the area in blue that you see, that's all owned by the HOA. And so is the area going along Warner, but the lots inside are all golf course. It's just a strange arrangement how it is. What makes it even stranger is the land on the south side of Warner, on the east side of Greenfield, where the lake is, that's not owned by the HOA. There's an agreement with the golf course and the HOA that will take care of the very edge perimeter along Warner and Greenfield and the monument sign, and then the golf course takes care of the interior. And if you look very closely when you drive by, you can see where the lawn or the grass kind of changes from one landscape maintenance to the other landscape maintenance. So it's just a weird setup from 20 plus years ago. So the answer is yes, we own it, and we have to maintain this land up here, even though it's on the golf course side. And we maintain the monument sign, which looks like yours, but technically to the law is not. Hopefully that understands
Harmon,
it. Yeah.
To answer Jeff's question, on the north side where we own that property, the little sliver on the outside of that is golf course property, and
this right here,
yeah,
where my cursor is, yeah, that whole blue is a track. That blue is HOA.
But in front of our monument there, the little area towards the street, closest to the street.
That's the town of Gilbert. That's their right of way.
Okay, because I think Jeff's asking why there are golf course signs in front of our monument.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be. So I did not notice that on my last inspection on Monday or Tuesday. I didn't actually look for those signs, but I will call the golf course and ask them to remove them. They should not be putting signs, one on our land and two in front of our sign. It's just not courteous. So we'll take care of that. Thank you. Okay, I'll put back the proposal. There we go. All right, any more board discussion on the proposal?
No.
All right, any homeowner discussion on the proposal, either in chat or would you like to raise your hand? I'll recognize you. Okay, I see no hands raised. And thanks for the explanation. That was a chat, so thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. Thank you very much, Jeff. All right, board, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, next on our agenda is the wall inspection proposal. All right, we had an engineering company, and it's called Centrium Kessler Engineers, and the full proposal is in the packet. It's several pages long. To brief it in summary, we gave them a map. I think that's in here there. This map, all the red are HOA walls. That's the north of Warner. This is the south of Knox. All the red are HOA party. They're either HOA owned or HOA party walls. And then this is the between Warner. I'm sorry, I mixed that up. This is the Warner north, and there's between Warner and Knox. So all those walls, they will inspect all the walls and give us a complete report of the walls and recommendations for repair. It's not inexpensive though. I guess that's a relative term. They want $13,800 to do that project with a $4,000 retainer. Did the board have a chance to read that in the packet? This was in the version 1 packet. I did update the packet today with a couple other smaller proposals, but this was in the one a couple days ago.
I did not.
Okay, then you want to take some more time to absorb this, or did you want to discuss it tonight? We have a chat going back to the map showing the walls. Okay, Shelley. This map is between Warner and Knox. If anybody sees a wall we missed, please say so. This is the map south of Knox. I'll let everybody a moment. If anybody wants to send me an email, I'll be glad to email this to them. And this is the wall map between, well, north of Warner, we'll just call it that. So golf, party walls with the golf course are not included. So homeowner and golf course walls are not HOA responsibility. These are HOA and homeowner party walls or HOA sole walls. Let's see. I have a chat. How is the wall on Gila not HOA owned? There is a mailbox there, etc. Okay. Some board member, can you guide me where Gila is? I don't know where that is. Is that the one down south?
Gila is no.
Gila's north of Knox and south of Warner.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. So it's in here.
There's on Cala del Norte. There's a Gila there, I think. Cala del Norte. Oh, that's paved.
Right here. Okay, I know where it is. Yeah, there's the mail. I believe you mean. Let's see, who's asking? Shelley. You mean?
Well, there's a Harmon. There's a Gila Court and there's a Gila Street. So if you go over towards Greenfield, that's
It's
Gila
right here.
Street. But if you
Okay.
go over here where you were at and the cul-de-sac, that's Gila Court.
Right. There's Gila Court here, and there's a Gila Court. Okay. Okay. I
And then
missed.
there's a Gila Street on.
Up
Uh,
against
Greenfield.
Greenfield. Yeah. If
against
you go to your
Greenfield.
left over
Oh,
there,
right here.
there,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
is
So
the Gila Street.
these two little walls right here. Okay. Let's look at Gila Street on the big map then.
Gila and Portland, what she's saying.
Sure.
So yeah, that's right where your cursor was over there.
Yep. I'm going to
there-
pull it up.
There is a mailbox there.
Okay, so here's Greenfield and Gila and Portland. So the mailbox is, see here,
South side
Right.
of the road, right there.
yeah, that's actually not HOA. That's a homeowner wall.
Yeah.
That's the homeowner land, and then it goes right into the street. Technically speaking, the sidewalk is the city has everything on that side, the street and the sidewalk, and the homeowner, that's a homeowner wall. On the west side of that homeowner, where I just highlighted in the blue, that is the HOA land. So that's the homeowner. So it doesn't show up on a plat that's our wall. Let's
We have a
see.
question from someone with a funny name, no block wall needed.
I'll read the question. What exactly inspecting? The structural integrity of the wall, the iron fencing? Is the inspection consider the wall to be, is the inspection considering the wall that has been removed on Quinn? Okay, so they're inspecting all the wall. Yes, they're inspecting the structural integrity of the wall. They will be inspecting the iron fencing, the view fence on the walls where that. Is the inspection considering the wall that is removed on Quinn? No, this inspection is not for that 100 feet of wall that is on Quinn. There's the answer to that. Okay, we answered the Gila important question. Okay, board, would you like to discuss it anymore, or you want to table it to the next meeting so you could review it? It's a pretty extensive.
I would
report.
like more time to go over it.
Okay, and that's what we do. Unless there's an objection or somebody wants to make a motion otherwise. All right, we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting. Fence and wall repair. Okay, so horse trail update. Okay, so this is the equestrian trail we discussed on the north end of the property. I spoke with 3 different departments in the town, and I finally got to one that actually talked to the Parks and Rec, and they suggested, and I'll bring it up on the screen. Where is it? It's down here somewhere. They suggested this type of a gate that would go across where our land starts. And it's a gate where horses, it's made for horse trails, and horses can step over it, but motorized vehicles obviously would have a difficult time getting past that. They said they would approve it. The city does have some jurisdiction over the trail system, even though it's our land. They have some easement, or actually I think it's a right of way on the trail system. And they would say it would take an administrative, some administrative ruling or agreement from them, but they said they would. The person I spoke with in the trail system, Parks and Rec, said they would approve it, and that's what they emailed me, that they suggested this.
Hey, Harmon, if the problem here is dirt bikes riding on that, I don't think that step over gate is going to stop a dirt bike unless that step is, over a foot high.
I think it is. I think the step, there were various pictures that they sent me, but
Okay.
I think that step is, I bet you the step's like 2 feet, maybe 2 feet high. Horses can go over that very easily, maybe even a little higher than 2 feet. I'm not exactly sure.
Harmon, how does this work? 17 foot of that wall, from the wall to 17 feet is ours, the other 17 belongs to,
Correct.
I believe, Miller.
Right. We would have to get a agreement with the northern landowner to do this, whether they put in a gate, we put in a gate, we put in partial fence with a gate, but they would have to agree to it, and hopefully they would split the cost if they feel it's a problem. So this is the one of the solutions we came up with. The other solution is, do nothing. We can't put barricades up. We can't just put walls up that inhibit, and anything that allows, the width of a motorcycle is the width of a horse. And this allows emergency vehicles to get through also. So that's why the city said this was what they would like if we did anything.
Like that cost.
That's the next step. If you guys want to pursue it, then I'll go out and get some cost factors. I have no idea. More than 1,000 and under 5. That would be my guess.
Because there's only one homeowner that actually has horses, and out of the 9 spots. And
Yeah, is this just for one homeowner that's having the issue?
well, there are other homeowners that are getting a lot of dust in their yard, and bikers shouldn't be going there. But Harmon, maybe you can talk to the homeowner.
I can. Just to be clear, we've been using the map. That seems to be worked pretty well. We're talking about this right here. Close that so it's bigger.
Yep.
So that's the entire entire stretch, and we're talking at the very east end is where that gate would be, at least you would think where it'd be. And the homeowner you're speaking of, or the lot, is this lot right here. That is the only lot that currently has horses. All these lots on the north side of Rawhide, are equestrian lots, and the word I'm looking for is zoned that they can have horses. And then of course there's all the lots on the north side. Those homes are all zoned for horses, and a few lots have them.
Yeah, if you can talk to the homeowner and we can discuss it at the next meeting.
All right, I'll see what the homeowner thinks about it, and then we'll bring that answer back. But this is what you asked us
I
to.
can talk to 2 other homeowners over there and see what they say, because they complain about the dust. If a motorcyclist falls on our land, are we liable?
Anybody can sue anybody, and it is our land, and trip and fall incidents happen, and we have liability insurance. So take that as you like.
Another point, Harmon. I may be mistaken, but that could be an SRP right of way in there too.
Yeah, I don't know, but we can look into it.
Yeah, we'd have to find out before we did anything. Also, what about the homeowners on the north side?
Well, if we were to do something, we would, we mentioned that earlier, we would have to go to those homeowners collectively and see what they would want, because they would, if we put a gate on our half of the land, it doesn't do any good. They would have to
Right.
put a fence or gate their side also, or put a fence and a gate combination across the whole trail and then share in the cost. So there's many moving parts to this, but this is the first step. Find out what we can do. This is what the city says we can do, and then we have a recommendation of what can be done. If you think the problem is up to you guys, is an issue or not an issue worthy of this expense. So what I'm hearing is I'll contact the homeowner that's most affected and see what their opinion is. We'll bring that back to the next meeting and you can discuss further.
Can we also get a sign that no motorized vehicles, because we have a sign that says Greenfield Lakes only over there. Can we also, below that, we have a post, have something that says,
Sure.
at your own risk, just to.
If you're thinking of a sign to alleviate any liability,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. We can look at what sign might be necessary. The generic no trespassing sign might be a good one, because if you're not a member of the HOA, you're trespassing. If you are a member of the HOA, that is your common area to go to. And the generic no trespassing sign usually works well as far as the police go also.
Yeah, let me see if we have one on there. I might have one in my garage, extra one. If not, I'll let you know.
Okay, and what I mean generic, there's a certain format. Arizona state statute is on it. It has to be, formatted correctly to qualify as a enforceable no trespassing sign.
Is the board
So
okay?
that's what I meant by generic. So if you have one in your garage, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Check your chat, Harmon.
Oh, a lot of things. Okay, thank you. I did not see that.
I think I would like to keep investigating on this path rather than just giving throwing our hands up and doing nothing. I don't know if this is the ultimate solution, but I'd like to keep trying to solve it.
Okay. What would you like me to investigate or research next time that I can bring back?
I would say contact the HOA for the homeowners on the north side and see if they have an interest in it, and if they're willing to split the cost with us on the final answer, or are we totally on our own?
Okay, we will do that.
They may even have some suggestions, or they might even tell us what they tried and didn't work, so we know not to go there.
Okay, we did have some comments here. Several people said it's 12 to 16 inches is the step for the horse step. Thank you very much. I did not know that. I don't know if 12 to 16 inches is a big enough deterrent for a dirt bike or not. Certainly, you're not going to get a quad through there, or a side-by-side, or a car.
I could get over it.
All right. So dirt bikes probably can. Let's see. We have another comment. I don't know how you stop dirt bikes from running down the trail. Only ways to prevent the dust would be to hydroseed the area. Fairly cheap and sounds outrageous, but a possible idea, cheaper than a horse entrance gate. So there's an idea also to consider, I guess. All right, we will contact the North property owners, HOA, and see what they have to say and bring that back to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, and with the no trespassing sign, see what Ron has. Okay, playground-based alternatives. We had a little research. We did a chart. It's a little busy of a chart, but I put that in the packet for you. Basically, there's two what is seen as good alternatives. You called it the crushed tires. They call it rubber mulch, and they also recommend engineered wood fiber. And I got different opinions from different local playground people. They're both good materials for it. They're ADA compliant. You have to put them 9 inches deep in the area. They're better in sand. I've been told that they both are good for not having bugs and not having animals want to do their business in them. The slight negative that I was told is that the engineering wood does break down a little quicker and it might need replacement, but it's still a multi-year product. The rubber mulch lasts longer, but because of the Arizona heat, the rubber, what they've seen is the rubber, it doesn't melt, but they said that they see a sheen on the playground equipment. So when the kids walk through it, the rubber mulch, and then walk on the playground and the slides, some part of the rubber material or oils or something get onto the playground equipment. Then they thought, we should be aware of that. So it's not without its negative. They're both about the same price. They come in cubic feet and actually one comes in cubic yards and one comes in tons. Rubber mulch comes in tons and the engineering wood comes in cubic feet. And I just got a rough cost. It would probably be in the area of $2,000 to $3,000 for a playground to be done. So this is the information I'm bringing as a first phase or step. If you would like to pursue one or the other or both and get some hard quotes and maybe even have the playground lady that does this talk at the meeting, we can arrange that. So I can use some more direction.
Is this for all the playgrounds?
This is for well, the intent is to replace the sand under all the equipment. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
all the playgrounds, which there are 3.
Harmon, one of the things, we had the rubber mulch in our community before, because our playgrounds are in a ditch.
Mm-hmm.
When we get the monsoon season, it gets flooded, everything lifts up and you lose quarter of it each time. So we figured sand would be, when we talked to the attorney, he said just do sand, is just as durable, and yeah, you will have problem with cats and animals, but that's the best solution. Is the locations of our playground, that's an issue, not the anyway.
Okay, well, as a board, you asked me to go find alternatives. So I went and found alternatives. Your guys' decision to take it that or not, or you keep the sand or not keep the sand.
Well, I would also like to have some more time to go over this, and there's just a lot of information.
Yep.
So I'd like some time.
I was just bringing information as requested, so that's perfectly fine. We'll put it on.
Refresh my memory, Harmon. Was it just one homeowner, or was it the majority of homeowners were asking about this?
No, this was brought up by, I'd say probably 2 or 3. I think one wanted additional swing and extensions, and then a couple brought up about the sand and looking at the rubberized mulch. And then you had a discussion at the last meeting regarding that. And so we went off and did a little research for you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. The Knox Road. All right. I spoke with traffic engineering about Knox Road and research what we can do. On the surface, it looks like we can do this, which is a traffic mitigation. It's a traffic study. And we need 10 homeowners that live right adjacent to Knox Road to sign off and to do this. Then when I talk, in fact, I talked to Debbie is the one I talked to. When I talked with her and read, there's a 2005 speed hump policy by the town of Gilbert. And their speed hump policy is that they will not put speed humps in any road that is 30 miles per hour or less. Knox Road is 25 miles an hour. So that's a non-starter right there. The town will not put speed humps in a 25-mile-an-hour road. And so I asked her, I said, well, is it moot for us to even do the traffic study? And she said, yeah, because there's nothing they would do besides the humps, and you can't do that. She said, you have a enforcement issue. So it's a police enforcement issue. I don't know if I'm getting the runaround or not, but so I contacted the traffic enforcement, and they're not yet gotten back on what they can do or what additional enforcement they would be able to provide. But traffic engineering is saying it's already 25 miles an hour and there's no humps, as they called them in their plan, they would put in on that road, which is, probably what it needs, in my unprofessional opinion, because it's just a speedway, like everybody knows. Nobody lives on it, and it's a long straight road. So we'll see what the police come back with, and they'll report that back to the next meeting. But that's where we're on the Knox Road piece.
There's another way that could be handled. We could do a drainage study and find that perhaps there's an area where water is puddling and put in V ditches across it.
That's creative.
It's
Okay.
not a hump.
Not a hump.
Okay. Harmon?
Yes.
Has anyone ever considered putting in an always stop sign at Knox and Park Crest?
I don't know. We go back traffic engineering and ask for that. And maybe they would consider that. If they said, yeah, we'll consider it, we can do the traffic study form and get them to look at that way. But there's
the problem is there are 11 what they call warrants you have to meet before you can get a stop sign, and only one of them is neighbors' complaints. So yeah, we could ask.
I say we start with that traffic study. If we can get the 10 people that are back up to Knox to sign, that's what we need, right, Harmon?
If that's the direction we want to go initially, or not, or go right now, that wouldn't hurt. But the traffic engineering department said, we're not putting humps in. It's an enforcement issue. If we filled this out and turned it in, maybe we'll get a little more attention, and maybe they'll consider signs or something I'm unaware of.
Well, if we did get measured speeds out there, it could help the Gilbert Police Department to send somebody out once in a while. I know that they're all along Warner Road towards Higley, and they're trying to slow people down going to the high school.
Yeah, I don't see the harm in doing the study for traffic mitigation.
Okay, we can certainly ask the homeowners right around that area. Well, I have emails segmented by addresses, so we know who's south of Knox, north of Knox, and we can email that group of homeowners specifically asking them if they would be willing to sign it, and I could try that for the next 2 weeks and report back to you guys.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's what we will do. Going all the way back to the beginning. So I put this on the agenda. The design guidelines, or otherwise called architectural guidelines, are dated, and I'm just planting a seed here that I would like the board to consider updating those architectural guidelines. And you've had discussions over the last couple of meetings about gazebos and sheds and architectural requests, and I think we can address those in the guidelines to make it smoother going forward. So if it's okay with the board, I don't really need a motion. I just wanted to plant the seed, and if that is okay, I will bring more details to the next meeting for discussion.
It's okay with me.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. We did this a year and a half ago, and it was never acted upon.
Yeah, I don't have any notes from then. I believe it's 2005 or so is the version of the guidelines we have.
Right. Well, I have a copy of what we came up with, but
Could you email that to me,
I
please?
believe it was not acted upon because it didn't have very much to do with the guidelines as much as it had to do with other issues.
Okay, I appreciate it if I can get a copy of that. At least just give us some what you did or what you were thinking of at the time.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you, Art.
We have some discussion in the chat, Harmon.
Okay, thanks for pointing that out. All right. Did you look into rubber servicing its place as a liquid barrier and turn solid? Yes, that is one of the barriers. It's actually like a rubber mat, and they do pour that. It tends to be fairly expensive, what I was told, and the same kind of sheening, but that is still an option. It was the lower of the other two options. So thanks for bringing that up. One says, can we do anything for speeding and racing down Greenfield between Knox and Warner? Well, that's the big road. We were concentrating on Knox because we had several complaints about Knox, and that's right between our community. So we looked at that. More, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. If more people complain to traffic and to the city about speeding in Greenfield, they'll pay more attention to it also. That's probably the comment I would make. And then we see, can we perform a Quinn Road traffic study as it is a currently 40-mile-per-hour racetrack? That would be up to the board. Let's try Knox, and if the board wants to go after other streets, we can do that. Or if you want to go in parallel, what do you think about board? We can put that on the agenda for the next meeting if you want to consider that.
Let's see how Knox goes, I would say.
All right, we'll keep that in on the back burner, but that's a good idea because we can pick up the next few streets that maybe would be good to look at. All right, we have our homeowners forum is the last item on our agenda. So if a homeowner would like to make a comment, suggest a agenda item for the next meeting, I'll be glad to let you speak. If you would raise your hand, I'll recognize you, but I'll ask you to unmute, and then you unmute yourself.
Is Randy Nelson online?
Or I'll just say it in chat if you want to say something.
Harmon, is Randy Nelson online?
Let's see.
Yes, he is. He's waving his hand.
Oh, there he is. Okay, Randy, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead. There you go, Randy.
Very good. Yes, wanted to update you on our situation. Excuse me just a second. Our situation with the Santan Adventure Park. Going back, I had attended the legally mandated neighborhood meeting given by Castle Golf and Santan Adventure Park LLC in 2016. And a certain individual escorted my wife and I through the proposed Santan Adventure Park. I told him my concerns, and the reason that I was at the meeting was noise and light pollution. He showed us a splash pad, a miniature golf course, and a maze, all in a different location than what we saw in the final version, which now included an outdoor go-kart track 250 feet from a row of houses in Greenfield. I specifically asked this person at the meeting if there was any chance of go-karts, and he said nothing was planned at that time. What we have since learned is that there were 34, what turned up in the lease were 34 possible uses for the park. That in retrospect, the 3 that we were presented were the 3 quietest, and what happened were the 3 loudest. The town council, I'm old. So I read every newspaper, and I actually follow the planning commission's agendas just because I'm nosy. I want to know what's going on. Between that neighborhood meeting in 2016 and a lease signing in 2017, I never saw another blurb about this operation. And it was signed as if I don't know enough about leases for this sort of thing, but it was as if the Castle Golf had written the lease, because it's so specific as to what they're allowed to do without any further approval. They're pre-approved for all those 34. And they range from, like I say, a maze, bumper boats, bumper cars, all sorts of family fun center things. Anyway, I specifically asked this person if there's chance go-karts, and no. Town council did sign that lease in March of 2017, almost 4 years to the day before those big yellow notification signs went up. We had 600 some change.org signatures in about 5.5 days over this once those signs went up, because that's the first all of those people knew about this. It's been kept, it's been done legally, I'm absolutely certain, because their representative showed, 15 meetings that were attended and so forth. But it was invisible to us, unfortunately, so no neighborhood input. And even when it was changed from a maze to a go-kart track, the director could have called for another neighborhood meeting, and that did not happen. Let's see, at that point, SAP changed the park to include go-karts since the lease allowed it. I read all the planning commission agendas because I'm curious about what's coming, and never saw any of that. It was at a meeting, I finally saw one on February 22nd of this year that involved SAP. That turned out to be the final planning commission meeting where they would approve design of the park. So unfortunately, we did not get into it prior to that. As I had said, 600 and some had signed that petition. 80 of us turned up in person or online at that planning commission meeting, only to discover that the lease had been signed 4 years earlier, and the only challenge we could have on it was something from the planning commission, as opposed to the park itself being located there, as opposed to, let's say, the regional park, which is a much more natural location for this. I filed an appeal at the cost of, based upon noise, because the two weakest links in that approval were a parking study that was approved without an on-site visit, and a sound study that I always said could have appeared as a headliner at the Improv Comedy Club, because it was it was an interesting sound study, basically saying that go-karts only raised the sound level 1 decibel, where 3 decibels were required for a human to hear it. So from 250 feet from my house, 21 go-karts will be running, and I won't be able to hear them, was the gist of the sound study. It also just used, again, nothing on site. The sound study was only used as a hypothetical Honda engine with no go-karts, no park attendees, no park music, no anciently engineered Shalimar go-kart bodies that they're going to be using that rattle like a bridge, no whistles, public address system, etc. Except one of their parks in Parker, Colorado. Yes, they do not use a public address system, but they have several people stationed around the track with whistles to blow when there's an infraction. And of course, there's always an infraction, pretty much constantly, because you're a kid. That's what you do. So noise is going to be a problem. Let's see, director should have called a new neighborhood meeting due to the huge design change, but that did not happen. The interesting thing about this is I used to go to these tracks because I had 4 daughters who were always looking for something to do. And I realized I never remembered ever seeing a house nearby, and that sent me to Google. First looking at Arizona, there's 20 tracks in Arizona. 0 are near housing of any kind. The ones that are close to housing are inside. So that sent me to the next state, and basically 111 towns containing 150 go-kart tracks have said no to tracks near housing in Arizona, Texas, Utah, Colorado, and Southern California. Gilbert is the first one to ever say yes. And why did that happen? Anyway, this appeal, the council has 60 days, or a deadline of 6/18/2021 to respond, but they'll respond sooner than that. They've already given me 3 optional dates, assuming legal is looking at it right now. They can do 3 things: uphold the Planning Commission's approval of the amusement park's design, modify the approval and request updates to the amusement park's design, reverse the Planning Commission's approval of the project. We want them to cancel the contract, overturn the lease altogether, based upon the way it was done, but I don't know if we have a chance of that. But the appeal is going to give us time. We think we have located legal representation at a somewhat affordable price, because we'd like to know the derivation of this project. You know, whose idea was this? When 111 other towns say no, who decided this would be a good idea for us? You know, next to housing like that. But anyway, that's where it stands. I will get notified at the next step. As I say, right now it's in their legal department, being checked on whatever they check on. And then it goes to the next stop, and a date is set for the town council to hear our case.
Hey, Randy,
Uh-huh.
Randy, can you enter into the chat a way for people to contact you to join up and possibly, you know, help with the message and then also help financially?
Absolutely. I will do just that. But that's basically where we stand. So basically waiting to be notified of the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Okay, I didn't see any other hands raised, and I'll look at the chat. Thanks for pointing out the chat. Heads up, my question, Wallen. Okay, Randy, why don't you go ahead and put your information there now, Randy? We won't end the meeting until you're done.
And Harmon, there's a question in the chat.
I thought we covered all the.
It's about
Okay,
the
I
wall.
see it. I see it. All right. Yeah, I looked at the traffic study. I thought that was about that. Question. You probably have answered in the past meetings. Okay, so here's a question from Seth. You probably already have answered in the past meetings. What is the status of the wall repair replacement on Quinn? It is currently being worked on, and we have legal issues with it currently. So that's all I can really say.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Randy, put your stuff up there. And then we have a chat. I'll read this too. For those of us that want the recreational park for our kids, what is the percentage of those for it? Randy, do you have any concept or idea of homeowners that are for it? I'm going to unmute you again, Randy. Go ahead.
No, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that it wouldn't be a great thing for Gilbert, and because it would. The whole issue is that putting an outdoor go-kart track next to housing has never happened. There's one instance back in 1959 in California, and that's the closest thing. a go-kart track and a housing subdivision were built the same year at 1959. With both of them were butting up against the Pomona Freeway. So I mean, nothing compared to our situation at all. So it's not that that we don't want a park. We don't want a go-kart track 250 feet from my back bedroom window. Because at that rate and 21 gas-powered go-karts, you know, they're going to set my the hours of that I sleep. You know, the impact on the quality of life of that whole row of houses is going to be just terrific. And that's why 111 other cities haven't done it.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah,
So
address that.
please.
You know, I see some chats, and I see some people who might want the adventure park. And I think that a good compromise would be to put the go-kart track inside a building. And then it would be there for the people who want to use it, but it wouldn't be noisy for the people who are trying to live next to it. And that certainly is one of the options that the city has at their disposal, to just put it in a building.
Okay, we have other chats. I'm not going to read all these chats, but they're saying you could go electric, but without carts. Looks like Main Event might be doing the same thing. Carts in a building would be great. They won't hold up in the heat if you do carts outside. So thank you for all your comments. With that, board, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting and go into executive session. Go ahead. I see you, Kevin. Go ahead.
Do I see a hand up for Tess's iPad?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I apologize, Tess. I'm going to go ahead. You are now asked to unmute, Tess. You can unmute yourself.
And I thank you. I just want to thank Randy for all the work he did. I know he spent a lot of time collecting all this information, and I was surprised to read about this in the paper last week, of all the things that were included in this lease, the things that they could do, why they would pick go-karts, and nothing was mentioned about this until the last minute. I think it was kind of sneaky the way they did this. So I have nothing against the adventure park, but go-karts is just, they have to either, as you said, either put a building there or maybe change it to all the other things that they would have available to them under the lease. So, but thank you, Randy. You did a lot of work. You are appreciated.
All right. Thank you very much for your comment. Okay, how about now, Kevin?
I don't see anybody else's hand up. I think I'm done.
All right, how about a motion to adjourn the open meeting, and we're going to convene an executive session. You see on the agenda per ARS 33-1804, paragraph A1, 2, 3, and 5. As we have to say that.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Thank you, Art. Do I have a second?
I second.
Any board discussion? Any homeowner discussion? I'll look for hands and chats. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you very much, board. Thank you very much, homeowners. I'm going to ask you all to depart so we can have the executive session. Everybody have a good evening. Bye-bye.